The UK's experiment with large-scale privatisation has by many measures been a costly failure. From 2008 to 2021, a string of high-profile privatisations have not only failed to deliver on their promises of efficiency and innovation, but have also saddled the British public with billions of pounds in losses. These losses, often hidden from public view, have had a direct impact on the lives of ordinary citizens, contributing to higher taxes, increased inflation, and a decline in the quality of essential public services. This essay will argue that the UK's experience with privatisation offers a cautionary tale about the dangers of unfettered markets and the need for robust government oversight in key sectors of the economy. Using data from 6 major privatisation failures, we will examine how these failures have impacted the UK economy and, more importantly, the lives of its citizens. The allure of privatisation, often presented as a panacea for economic ills, has often overshadowed its potential pitfalls. The promise of increased efficiency and reduced government spending has proven to be illusory in many cases. Instead, the UK has witnessed a transfer of wealth from the public to private hands, with taxpayers left to foot the bill for the failures of privatised industries. The time has come for a serious re-evaluation of the UK's approach to privatisation. This re-evaluation must acknowledge the true costs of these failures and the need for greater transparency and accountability in the way public assets are managed. To understand the scale of the problem, it is essential to examine specific examples of privatisation failures. The chart above highlights 6 major cases that illustrate the profound costs associated with this approach. These cases, spanning various sectors, demonstrate a consistent pattern of inflated expectations, poor regulatory oversight, and ultimately significant losses for the British taxpayer. For instance, the privatisation of the Royal Mail in 2013, projected to bring in substantial revenue for the government, resulted in an estimated loss of £780 million. This loss can be attributed to a combination of factors, including the undervaluation of assets at the time of sale and the failure to adequately anticipate the challenges of operating in a competitive market. Similarly, the part privatisation of Metronet, responsible for maintaining London's underground network, ended in disaster when the company collapsed in 2007. This failure, costing taxpayers an estimated £410 million, highlighted the risks associated with complex private finance initiative deals often used in privatisation schemes. These cases, along with the others listed in the chart, paint a sobering picture of the UK's experience with privatisation. They serve as a stark reminder that the pursuit of ideological objectives, such as shrinking the state, can come at a significant cost to the public. The human cost of these failures, though difficult to quantify, is undeniable. The decline in the quality of public services, job losses, and the erosion of public trust are just some of the consequences that continue to be felt today. The financial burden of privatisation failures does not simply disappear. It is ultimately borne by the taxpayer. When a privatised company fails to meet its financial obligations, the government is often left to pick up the pieces, using taxpayer money to cover debts, bail out failing businesses, or renationalise essential services. This transfer of risk from private companies to the public purse is a recurring theme in the UK's privatisation saga. The profits, when they materialise, are enjoyed by private shareholders, while the losses are socialised, becoming the burden of every taxpayer. This dynamic has contributed to the UK's growing national debt and placed upward pressure on taxes. To compensate for the revenue shortfalls caused by privatisation failures, the government has resorted to raising taxes on individuals and businesses. Moreover, the government's need to borrow money to cover these losses has fueled inflation, eroding the purchasing power of ordinary citizens. The rising cost of living, driven in part by these macroeconomic factors, has placed immense strain on households, particularly those on low and fixed incomes. The true cost of privatisation, therefore, extends far beyond the balance sheets of failed companies. It is a cost that is felt in the everyday lives of millions of Britons, manifesting in higher taxes, reduced public services, and a decline in the overall quality of life. The UK's experience with privatisation necessitates a fundamental rethink of the role of government in the economy and the way essential services are delivered. The pursuit of ideological purity, often at the heart of privatisation drives, has proven to be detrimental to the public good. Instead of viewing privatisation as a silver bullet solution, policymakers must adopt a more nuanced approach, one that recognises the importance of both public and private sectors in a well-functioning economy. First and foremost, there is an urgent need for robust oversight and regulation of privatised industries. The current regulatory framework, often criticised for being too lax, has allowed private companies to operate with impunity, prioritising profits over the public interest. Second, the government must explore alternative models for delivering public services, models that prioritise public good over private profit. This could involve greater use of public-private partnerships, where the government retains a significant stake and has a greater say in decision-making. Finally, a serious discussion about taxation is unavoidable. The UK's low-tax regime, often touted as a means to attract investment, has come at the expense of public services and infrastructure. A more equitable tax system, one that requires corporations and high-income earners to contribute their fair share, is essential to ensure the long-term sustainability of the UK's economy and the well-being of its citizens. The lessons from the UK's privatisation failures are clear. Unfettered markets can be detrimental to the public interest, and robust government oversight is crucial to ensure that essential services are delivered effectively and equitably. The time has come to move beyond the simplistic narratives of privatisation and embrace a more nuanced approach, one that prioritises the well-being of all citizens over the profits of a few.